Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the channel. Thursday, December 14th, 2023. And today, I don't know what's going on with the news stories, but we have a CEO and president, former CEO and president now, of Goodwill of California, Sacramento, and Nevada Valley, accused of stealing millions of dollars from his own Goodwill corporation for his own benefit, indicted and arrested. This is an insane story. This guy was appointed president and CEO in 2018. He was the CEO in 2016. And created fake bank accounts or fake companies, and he billed Goodwill for services that he wasn't doing way back all the way to the pandemic. And somebody caught wind of this like $55,000 transaction, realized that it stunk, it smelled bad, and they reported it to corporate, who reported it to the police and the FBI, who investigated. They audited all of the finances of these 39 stores that the Goodwill of that area handles. If you don't know, Goodwill is separated into sections. Like we have Goodwill of South Florida, Goodwill of Central Florida, Goodwill of Texas has like 2 different sections. So he was in charge of 39 stores in the Sacramento Valley and Nevada part of California, like Lake Tahoe, think Lake Tahoe area. That's actually where he's from. And they audited all their finances and found that he had stolen millions of dollars sent to a bank account that belonged to a company, shell company, that he created, and then started billing Goodwill for services that didn't exist. Like, oh, we need a computer tech, $10,000, $15,000, and the money benefited him. So he's now been arrested. He's facing 10 years in jail and a $250,000 fine per each one of his charges, which there's 9 total. So he's facing 90 years in jail and $2.25 million in fines and restitution, which is crazy. What is up with these news stories, man? Goodwill already gets some bad slack and flack over a lot of stories and a lot of things that people believe about Goodwill being a profit or non-profit, or where their money goes and what their programs do and all sorts of things. And this guy stealing millions of dollars as a Goodwill president and CEO just looks horrible. I'm going to take you over, show you the story real quick. What do you guys... Man, did this guy he had some balls to try to pull this off, right? Excuse my language, but very ballsy that he thought that they wouldn't ever, people always think they're never going to get found out, that they're just like, oh, I could just keep sending money, committing a crime. Somebody's going to find out. You're eventually always going to get caught. Just like this guy did. It took a few years, but they got him. It took like 3, 4, 5 years, but he got caught, and now he's going to do the next decade or more in jail. He's ruined his life, felonies, fired. All the money he ever stole, he's going to have to give back, or then some. It's just not worth it, guys. Crime never pays when you get caught, and you always get caught. Very, very, very few people get away with things of this nature. Let's check out the story, and I'll leave the comment section to all of you.
This is from KCRA3 out in Sacramento. The former Goodwill CEO arrested, accusing of stealing more than $1 million from the nonprofit. His name is Richard Allen Abruschi. I probably butchered that. He did plead not guilty during his court appearance, December 8th, 2023. He stole more than $1 million, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of California said that a federal grand jury returned an indictment on November 16th against 45-year-old Richard Allen Abruschi, who was in charge of the Goodwill, Sacramento Valley, and Northern Nevada. He's from South Lake Tahoe. He's been charged with 9 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of aggravated identity theft, and 3 counts of monetary transaction with proceeds of specified unlawful activity. I don't know what that means. Maybe we have a police officer or a lawyer in the chat who can add to that. During an initial court appearance, he pled not guilty and was released. Interesting. Goodwill Sacramento said it tipped off authorities to the fraud after internal audits and an investigation. Goodwill itself as an organization is based upon goodwill, and this was a real breaking of the goodwill by the CEO. The allegations against him are serious. We urge the federal prosecutors to pursue him to the fullest extent of the law, said Sam Singer, who's a spokesperson for Goodwill. Singer said the impacted funds did not come from donors, but from state funding. He said new policies and procedures have been implemented so it doesn't happen again. The Justice Department of Courts documents said he began working for Goodwill in 2014, became CEO in 2016, and president CEO in 2018, and one of its subsidiaries pay approximately $1.4 million to Resolution Arrangement Services between 2016 and 2021. The Resolution Arrangement Services was a fictitious business name registered by Abruschi in 2008 and was connected to a bank account he opened the same year. The DOJ said Abruschi used various false documents such as invoices and purchase orders to hide fraudulent payments into the Resolution Arrangement bank accounts. He allegedly once used a forged letter he said was written by an attorney to convince the company's chief financial officer to pay Resolution Arrangement Services $55,000 under pretenses related to a lawsuit. According to the DOJ, those payments were supposedly for information technology services, assisting Goodwill with managing call centers for the state of California during the COVID-19 pandemic, and facilitating a settlement for the aforementioned lawsuit. Everybody that thought they could do something tried and got away with stuff having to do with COVID-19, one of the greatest cash grabs in the history of this country. One way or the other, people were stealing stuff. So many people arrested for fraud over that. None of the services Goodwill and its subsidiaries were billed for by Abruzzi's fraudulent business were provided. Goodwill Sacramento said in a statement that an initial audit that prompted the internal investigation happened in 2021. He was immediately terminated from the company's board of directors, and the Sacramento County District Attorney was notified. The DA contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office, which led to his indictment. If he's convicted, he would face 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine for each of the 9. I thought it was 10 years, so it was 20 years in prison plus $250,000 fine for each of the 9. He also faces a maximum of 10 years in prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. They operated 39 stores. So there you go. Even the CEO of 39 stores with Goodwill is capable of fraud and stealing $1.5 million. What do you guys think about that? Pretty crazy story. Thanks from sunny Las Vegas for sending that over to me via Instagram, and a couple others sent that into me via messages on Facebook and emails. I appreciate you guys continuing to send me stories. That means a lot to me. So in case I miss something, I can make sure I get it up here on the channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Welcome into all the new subscribers and everybody who's hanging around. And until the next video, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you later.